Welcome again to my tens and tens of friends. It is me, Teacher TJ. To all my tens and tens who've been watching, I've talked to you about how I maintain and groom my daughter's hair. So here are these tips. The number one thing that you want to do is detangle without breaking it. Please never, ever, ever grab that comb, go from root to tip, and just rake through your daughter's hair. I don't care, or your their child's hair. I don't care what length it is. It could be super long, definitely not if it's super long, or it could be short. Either way, make sure that you are detangling. When you detangle, you're going to want to start from the tips and separate. You're going to use your finger a lot. You're going to use that comb a lot less. Separate the hair, and it's literally like kind of a motion of pulling the hair apart. But as you see, when you start to separate the hair, it may begin to tangle at the bottom. So stop and then go to the bottom and do it. You could even start detangling by combing the very ends first and working your fingers through the rest and just separating, just pulling the hair apart. It's basically just pulling the hair apart and using your fingers. If it's pulling to the point where it's forming a knot, stop and use your fingers. There will be a time where you cannot um, separate the hair. So in that instant, what you'll have to do is use scissors. Get some hair shears that are only for cutting the knots that you may encounter. If you're doing it right and you're working from bottom to top, the knots will not appear at the top of the hair. They'll probably form more so at the bottom. As you separate the bottom, then you can work your way up and work your way up. It's a process that sometimes detangling may take me a day. Detangling and combing may be the hardest and the most time consuming part, but take your time. If you love it, it'll grow. The routines that I have for my daughter and myself is so it'll go more like co-wash, co-wash, wash, co-wash, co-wash, wash. And then after the fourth week, and you can even push it on down to the 16th week, co-wash, co-wash, wash, co-wash, co-wash, wash. But on that wash day, you're going to, on the 16th week or the 4th, it depends on how dry your hair is or how dry your child's hair is. Our routine goes like the days that we co-wash is probably just a co-wash. On the weeks that we're washing, we'll start with an oil rinse. If I'm co-washing, I'm probably only co-washing. And a co-wash for me is whatever conditioner I use, I wash her hair with that. On the days that I'm co-washing, I wash their hair and their scalp. And on the weeks that I will wash, on either that 4th, no later than the 16th week, I will first oil rinse. And an oil rinse is just your favorite oils. For me, I use ylang ylang and L'Oreal leaf. Other good oils are rosemary and peppermint. On the days where I make my oil rinse, it's literally just coconut oil as the base. Depending on the length of hair, I would say it's probably like a fourth a cup of coconut oil and a drop of 2 of ylang ylang and L'Oreal. Mix those up and I saturate their hair with it and also their scalp. Let that sit about 5 minutes, rinse it out with cool water. After I do the oil rinse, then I'll do an apple cider vinegar rinse. I recommend that you can start these things as early as your baby being 3 months because you're taming and training their hair. And there'll be another video on what to do from the time that your child gets home from the hospital or from the time that you birth your child up until they're about 3, 4 years old, ready for preschool. Some things will change. So the apple cider vinegar rinse is important. It helps clarifying the scalp balancing pH, and smoothing the cuticles for shine and less frizz. This potentially help the hair grow. My favorite brush is the denim brush, and I like the 5-row brush. Although I have used the 7-row brush, I like the 5-row denim brush. The apple cider vinegar rinse also helps bring your baby's natural curls to life. Okay, so don't skip out on it. And again, I probably apple cider vinegar and oil rinse once every 3 months. You can wash as needed. Maybe you need to wash every 2 weeks instead of the cold wash. But for sure, make sure that you do an apple cider vinegar rinse and an oil rinse at least every 4 weeks. I mean, yeah, at least every 12 weeks, no more than every 4 weeks. After the apple cider vinegar rinse, I will do a deep condition or maybe just a regular condition. I use my favorite conditioner. We like Shea Moisture. We also use that. When you condition, you can put the conditioner all throughout their hair, put a plastic cap, and let them sit for 15 minutes, or you can let them sit in the dryer for 15 minutes with the conditioner. After we condition, we moisturize. Me personally, I like Cantu curl cream. I'll take a little bit of that, what I'm going to use to style her hair or their hair, and I will put that in a separate container, a glass container preferably. If not, I might put it in the top of the that belongs to the curling cream, Cantu curling cream. And I'll put 2 or 3 drops of ylang ylang and L'Oreal leaf in that, mix it up really good, and that's what I use to detangle again before I style. And I also use that throughout styling. I do not subscribe to heat. I stay away from it. I don't even really blow dry unless I'm going to cornrow or French braid. Most of all, keep in mind, if you love it, it will grow. It's like no ifs, ands, and buts about it. So if you do these things, your child's hair will grow. I will do a trim every 12 to 24 weeks. I hope these tips help. If so, let me know your progress because I promise you it worked for me. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know some of your hair tips that you do with your baby. But don't you ever believe that black girls' hair don't grow because it do. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Welcome again to my tens and tens of friends. It is me, Mrs.
Who told you to start? I didn't start you. And I know my mommy didn't start you. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Your camera started. I don't know if you started or not.
Oh. The number one thing that you want to do is so in that instant what you'll have now, detangling is probably the routine that I have for my daughters and myself is to the routine. So I wash every week. I co-wash every other week. So maybe I said that backwards. I co-wash every 2 weeks and I wash. No. Depends on how dry your hair is or how dry your child's hair is. So once you wash it, no, actually on the days, so, but on the days that we're washing, on the weeks that we're washing, and it's probably about a half a cup. Nope, that's probably too much. After I co-wash, no. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know some of your hair tips that you do with your baby. But don't you ever believe that black girls' hair don't grow, because it do. Because it do.